Mr. Rajiv Rudy, I don't want this to be just a standard Congress-BJP fight. Trust me, I don't. I am trying to address a larger issue here. On a larger issue, because since you have raised a valid point today, the whole system is being held hostage by people who have short-term interests and are not looking at the long-term national agenda.
For example.
My question is to Dr. Singhvi. I come back straight to you after Dr. Singhvi replies. Dr. Singhvi, tell me, your government has suffered so much because of coalition dharma, coalition politics. I mean, I don't have to tell you. A. Raja was a direct function of coalition politics, coalition compulsions. So many troubles have happened in this government because of coalition compulsions. Why do you still give in to coalition compulsions, sir? If coalition compulsions tomorrow go against national interest, one line, sir. If coalition compulsions go against national interest, Dr. Singhvi, should a national party not put national interest first?
Arnab, I'm not very clear on your question. This is a bit of a circular question. In any system, you have to have a constitutional system. Now, first you decide which system you have. You don't have an American system, you don't have a German or a continental French system. You have a British parliamentary system, but with a written constitution, much more detailed than the British system. So that's a given. Let's not debate something which is a given. Second, in that system which is a given, which you can't change tomorrow or day after, you have to live with it, because there cannot be a vacuum in politics. You cannot have elections every 3 months or 6 months. Since you cannot have elections every 3 months or 6 months, you must maintain a majority if you want to rule. If I am in a majority, I will want to maintain it with 5 other coalition partners. We are assuming that no single person has a majority, which is the situation at least since 1991. In that system, it's no point given ideal or idle preaching sermons.
Sir, this is...
The very definition of politics in that situation would be, one second, would be to harmonize and balance both national interest and carrying your coalition partners.
How do you compromise on national interest?
Now, sometimes the balance is rightly struck.
How do you compromise on national interest?
It's not a black and white situation. The problem is that if you write the equation on a TV debate for some, brownie points and pats on the back in black and white terms, it is not a black and white equation. It's a grey equation.
Dr. Singhvi,
you can have national interest, but you may have to have more concentration on national interest. You may have to take longer. Take, for example, just give me a minute or no, please. Take GST. GST was brought in earlier by the BJP. When we came, we tried to push it very strongly. Several BJP states opposed what the BJP itself has brought in the central government. It has taken 2.5, 3 years, 4 years. So we are now doing a GST or an All India regime. We are at the threshold of that. But it's a democracy tax we pay. We've taken 5, 7 years to do it instead of 3 years or 2 years. That's the difference between us and China.
Sir, let me give you an example.
Sir, let me give you... national interest goes through.
Sir, today
but national interest goes through with a great delay.
Dr. Singhvi,
the same may happen for FDI.
Dr. Singhvi,
one second.
I'll give you another concrete
FDI
example.
we stand by. NCTC we stand by.
No, you stand by, but you don't implement it.
Through NCTC or FDI no, we are implementing it, but the difference is that we may have to do it with X delay, which is democracy tax again. We may not be able to do it tomorrow, but we'll do it shortly.
Sir, you tell me today...
That's the point you have to understand.
Sir, I understand.
These are the dialectics of coalition governance.
Sir, this dialectics...
in a parliamentary
Sir, I have only...
system.
Sir, you have given one example. I will give you one other example. And if you genuinely think, Dr. Singhvi, that this is a wrong example, please tell me, and I want Rajiv Rudy also to come in. I am asking you tonight, not about Mamata Banerjee, I am asking you today, is there any consistency in India's position on anything? I mean, you have the finance minister, the people say second most important person in this government, Pranab Mukherjee. A few days ago, in the context of the Sri Lanka resolution, he says, and I quote, "Our traditional stand has been that we have never supported any country-specific resolution at the UN Human Rights Council." This is Pranab Mukherjee, sir, I am not making it up. And today, the Prime Minister says, the Prime Minister says we are inclined to vote in favor of a resolution if the resolution will cover our objectives, namely the achievement of a future Tamil community in Sri Lanka. So, no, between Pranab Mukherjee and the Prime Minister, sir, should there not...
I have understood you.
No, so because the DMK puts pressure, you change your position? Where's the national interest there?
Let me give it's a very important question. You cannot deal with important issues by flitting from topic to topic.
No,
sir, very superficial.
Sir,
I have given you 3 examples. My first point is that federalism is a price we pay, which means longer delays, more time, a democracy price and tax. But ultimately, where national interest is concerned, if the central government thinks that it is in the national interest, we stand firm, the thing gets done, albeit with a delay. We have not wavered with our in-principle stand on FDI, and we are not wavering with our
Sir,
in-principle stand on NCT.
Sir, I am asking you on the
tomorrow,
Sri Lanka issue.
2 months.
Between Pranab
Secondly,
Mukherjee and the Prime
on
Minister, was there a change of position?
That's the problem. You are flitting.
No, I'm not flitting. I'm giving you another example.
Democracy tax, 1 second. Now let me come to the third example. I'm answering each of your examples. You started with FDI, I've answered. You started with NCTC, I've answered. Now the Sri Lankan issue. Federalism and the fact that you have sometimes fractious allies or regional considerations means that on an issue like Sri Lanka, you have to have more nuanced reactions than the simple reaction we had earlier.
So Pranab Mukherjee's was not a nuanced reaction?
Foreign policy would be, no, 1 second, please, interruption a second doesn't help. Arnab, the normal reaction of India would be, we don't go with another country. Now you have an opposition in the country. It's not only federalism, it's not only DMK. Do you know that the feeling about the Tamil issue cuts across every Tamilian Dravidian party?
But
the Congress men of Tamil Nadu. Now, therefore, it's a fact we take into account as a true democracy.
The Tamil issue
goes to central government. Central government makes a very nuanced. 1 minute, please, Arnab. The central government makes, I think, a very correct and nuanced statement that we are inclined. That gives you a position. We are going to see, however, the actual text of the resolution. And tomorrow you may have the inclination of India to vote for the Tamils be expressed in very nuanced language. They may say that we are not hurting Sri Lanka. We are only saying for human rights violations, we will not tolerate it.
I get a
response. No, I only coalition governance.
So I'll tell you,
foreign policy.
Sir, I take your point, sir. You put it very, very well, and I know that you are one of the most seasoned lawyers. You can put it in a completely, technically perfect manner. However, question is this tonight: the Sri Lankan issue has existed, Dr. Singhvi, since I was in primary school. It's not a realization of yesterday. The second point is the DMK is a regional party with local interests. What about national parties? Should they not rise above domestic politics sometime and consider the larger impact the decision could have on India?
That's the point. I want to ask you, Arnab, let me give you an answer. Suppose tomorrow, I'm giving you purely speculative. Suppose tomorrow the government of India, under the Prime Minister's statement today, votes only against the human rights shooting of a child in cold blood, and otherwise does not at all denigrate Sri Lanka. Have you not acted with national interest? How do you presuppose that?
Sir,
you are presupposing an answer while asking a question.
Sir, the question is very simple.
That is national interest.
Are you going to define national interest by regional?
And yet not to vote against Sri Lanka?
Sir, there is a difference.
We are not voting against Sri Lanka.
Sir, is there a difference between? Sir, is there a difference?
No country can be shooting children in cold blood.
Sir, is there a difference between Pranab Mukherjee's position and Prime Minister's Pranab Mukherjee's position 1 week back and Prime Minister's position today? Simple reading.
Sorry,
so there is.
It's an evolving. No, 1 minute. This is an evolving situation. Evolving situation. Had Pranab Mukherjee spoken today, he would have given the same statement.
That's what I said.
The evolving situation. Sir, you are counterposing an earlier statement with today's statement.
No, sir.
There's no difference.
Sir, the situation is.
Had Pranab Mukherjee spoken today, he would have given the same statement.
Rajiv Rudy, the situation has been evolving for a long time. Why has it evolved so much in the last 4 days? 1 second. Rajiv Rudy, quick response to what Dr. Singhvi's argument is on that one.
Arnab, I will not contradict. He is trying to buttress his argument by saying that this happens. The fact is that today we have a national government, and it was earlier also, where the policies are regional. Now we are trying to run a government with regional policies. So a national government running with regional policies or regional diktats will always have these problems, and we are not ready to admit that there is a time that a party with 40 people or a party with 50 people have ruled this country, and they have become the prime ministers. Now this situation is going to go from bad to worse tomorrow, and we cannot. It's a fact which the country must accept in the present parliamentary form of government. And if we are not accepting this fact, we will face these situations. It's not going to be, not what I'm saying is going to be true for the BJP. It's going to be, because there are no more, the country doesn't vote at all for a national party. Because if tomorrow, for example, if Manmohan Singh ji had a referendum directly to be appointed as a prime minister where every individual would have voted for him, possibly he would have been a much more stronger situation. Now, if it is all by a majority of elected representatives electing a leader who gets nominated through the Congress party, this process is actually causing a lot of damage to the system today, because he's not accountable.
You've
there is
raised
a
the bigger
debate
issue.
which is coming out of whatever you are saying.
No,
the
you've
country is heading for a bigger debate
No, you've
on the
raised-
dysfunctionality
Yeah.
of the existing constitutional system.
you've raised
if you
the
do not
bigger
debate
issue.
it, in next 20 years, this country will break.
Well, we are looking
This
next.
country is heading in a direction where all these regional parties and regionalism and regional aspirations
certainly-
is going to split apart the country.
they're certainly
If we are
becoming
not
a
opening
greater-
debate shortly, the situation is going to go more
They're
grim
certainly
and
becoming more and more assertive, and I think the Congress also recognizes that. Only they have to live with them for now. Dr. Singhvi, for your well argued points tonight, and Rajiv Rudy for coming on the News Hour. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1.